From the farms of Southern California to the slaughterhouses of Nebraska, they take the jobs many people don't want because they want a better life for their family. But now immigrants, many of those of Hispanic descent, are wondering if they'll be able to stay here in our nation, the nation they sought for a better life, or if they're going to be the next one swept up amid Trump's unprecedented mass deportation efforts. This fear and uncertainty, perpetuated by the administration's push to erode immigration in the U.S., is real, and Frankie Miranda is feeling it too. Hispanic Federation President and CEO Frankie Miranda joins me now on just the impact this is having on the Latino community. Frankie, good to see you. President Trump says these mass deportations are to get rid of dangerous criminals in our country, but we can't deny that hardworking families have also been caught up in this too.
Absolutely. And what we have seen is more and more reports is that many of these immigration raids have taken people without any criminal records, immigrants that are working hard, trying to contribute to the economy. And right now, what we have seen is that in many Latino neighborhoods, people are stopping to go to work. In many farms, we have seen that people are not picking the crops. And what we are going to see is a nefarious effect on the economy. The rescinding of TPS for 600,000 Venezuelans with work permits is going to have also a negative effect on the economy. And as you well stated before, this was the mandate from voters, making the economy better, the cost of living lower, and we're not going to see that by just focusing on deporting these hardworking people.
All right, with that said, Trump made huge gains with Latino voters, Frankie, many of whom supported harsher immigration policies. So why should these voters stand with these undocumented immigrants?
Because the majority of people in this country, including what we have seen in our surveys of swing states of Latino voters, was that they voted for the candidate that they felt that provided the best economic solutions for their pocketbook issues. So it is a little bit different than trying to say that Latinos voted for a MAGA mandate, when the reality is that Latinos still believe in a humane system of immigration, that people that have been in line to get their papers, that they can get it, and that people are expecting lower prices and to make it their lives better. We know that the economy of the United States improved and recovered better than any other economy in the world after the pandemic because of these additional workers. So this is not going to basically address the main issue for Latino and American voters, that was cost of living. And just by focusing on deportation and enforcement is not going to resolve the idea of creating a humane pathway to citizenship for many of these workers.
What about, those within border communities who have been very outspoken about the impact of gang violence and exploitation firsthand? What do you say to them?
We cannot deny that we want to make sure that there is an orderly process to the immigration system. But what these administrations have done in the past, and that the Congress have failed to do, is to really provide the resources to create an immigration system, take out all the backlog, ensure that the people that are here and can stay can continue to stay, and those that needs to go back can be taken away. But the fact is that just by looking at enforcement, just by removing people, just by creating fear, is not going to resolve not even the immigration issue, nor is going to resolve the issues on the economy.
Let me ask you, I know the Hispanic Federation was forced to pause operations on a number of programs that were supported by federal funds up until the court ruling last week. So how are you adjusting and pushing forward in supporting the communities impacted by this increased enforcement?
You're right. The impact has been devastating for the entire nonprofit sector, the direct service provider, the Hispanic Federation. We're trying to figure out what exactly these orders mean. The courts have already said that the administration have tried to go around these orders of continuing providing this essential support to organizations. This was already pre-approved and obligated from previous budgets in Congress. My opinion is that if you don't want to support many of these initiatives in the future, that is your prerogative. But right now, there are contracts, there are people that are suffering right now, and many workers are going to stop being employed because of these capricious orders of stopping funding without really doing an assessment of what is necessary or not. We are trying to make sure that our organizations get the information that they need. We're working with attorney generals across the country to provide them this information and continuing the push to make sure that these illegal stop of funding going to organizations and to many essential services are immediately resolved and that there is a process to continue providing these essential services.
And ABC News is reporting on immigration changes throughout the day on ABC News. Watch our special immigration crackdown tonight, 8:30 Eastern, right here on ABC News Live.